Through video analysis, we believe this is a ruptured tendon or chondrocyte because the knee is right. Change in direction and slightly displaced tibia. You'll need a scan to confirm the extent of the injury. In the mildest case, Rodri'S cartilage injury treatment. But the injury doesn't seem right. I hope he can avoid injury. Ligament rupture and false in the worst case, he'll take at least 9 months to recover. Here are the shares of experts from PhysioScale, website that focuses on player injury analysis. Man City is sitting on fire. Rory may no longer appear on paint until the 2024 season 2.025 closed, and Gardilla once claimed Rodri'S' influence is greater than Haaland's. If Physio Chow's prediction is correct, Roger will have surgery. With other types of damage, like tearing and rupturing of ligaments, recovery is never simple. Optimism is hard to judge. Stay strong on the journey ahead. Pep Guardiola though, how good are you at organizing a team? Man City already has a bargain of the century when they split £70 million in the summer of 2019 to convince Alicio Madrid or Rory, a player they had just recruited a year earlier. Rodri to Man City, with ambition and dreams to reach the top. It's great that Pep Guardiola, to help the Spanish midfielder get things done, moment to score in the 2.023 Champions League final, has transformed itself into a world-class super SAO. He finished with Man City. This increases the value of the Spanish midfielder, and just Rodri appear on the field. Pep'S plastic Guardiola is the rival's nightmare. It's not Kevin De Bruyne, with magic passes for Alan Howland, or the much-needed leadership qualities of Isel Windows, qualities that make Rodri a super midfielder. Kim is the best defensive midfielder in the world right now. Stay where you do well. Every task is assigned to the middle line. Rodri not only defends extreme fire, ball recovery, distribution of match duty adjustable ball, launch and attack, but also the ability to score in important times. Talk about Man City, featured image. Maybe I should mention Haaland's goals, or the construction phase of De Bruyne, but let's see all the matches to see the Rodri created. How coherent is the rhythm for Man City? Even according to statistics, since Rodri made his Man City debut so far, Man City have a 74% win rate, and the loss rate is only 11%. Every time the quarterback in 96 starts. In contrast to the absence of Rodri matches, Man City immediately reduced the winning rate to only 64%. At the same time, the loss rate goes up to 24%. Roy is carrying on the title, guaranteed for every score that Man City has in the Premier League. Not only did he not know which battle to lose when you are in the team, Rory even owned the undefeated chain, up to 51 matches at the highest level tournament in the land of the best achievement, and no player has been able to do that. In the top 5 European championships, the only one is Rodri'S. If calculated from 2023 or before, Rodri'S is impressive. Physically durable side, feel his 9-foot figure. He played against John 14 for 8 years before he became king in the middle. It's unbelievable to Rodri. Every time you get injured, it only takes half a month at most. Then I'll be back. After winning every title in his shirt, Man City midfielder in 96 continues to contribute greatly. Spain, winning the 2.024 euro. However, the network itself decided to recruit you. It turned his career upside down. It's full of Robert's pink. Cheap to another stage. The star of Man City only play the first half before having to leave the field injured. It was the first time people saw Roger. You've been friends with so many diseases for so long. From mid-July to the end of August, Pep Guardiola did not take the risk. Until the 4th round of the Premier League, I was back in the game in the second half, in victory over Bradford. The full 90 minutes, in the Champions League against Inter Milan, Roy had to take on the grit of football. He suffered a serious injury in the match against Arsenal, just related to Thick. The future of players, high probability, will be turned in the direction after recovery. Put on the operating table through a painful recovery process. The spirit and will to fight no matter how high. It's also somewhat reduced. Before Rodri, another world-class star is Neymar. It's also severed. It's injured. Brazilian striker. He retired from the competition last 15 months. And still not down. Date back this detail has shown. Prediction: Rodri. Think about the end of this season is at a high level of appreciation. The 28-year-old midfielder's recovery. It's a shame to be in the first team of a player's career. Rodri has the most traumatic experience of his life. Players, even when re-entering the field of play, must be carefully calculated to limit the risk. because of the ligament injury. It's the most likely type of injury to recur. And just a little hurry. The player's career could end immediately. Dark red perspective Rory. I understood the wall, but there's no way to stop it from happening. With myself. The absence of Rory. Mal will completely lose the adhesive formation. Guardiola has a lot of players. There is only Rodri'S. I'm suffering from a horrible injury. No AI at Etihad at the moment can completely filling the void left by the Spanish midfielder. Guardiola needs to remember. Firefighting plan. It was never a long-term option to help the club succeed. Time to come. Can Mateo Kovacic will take on the role of deep back midfielder in the early games of the season when Rodri'S hamstring injury outfit. Kovacic also took his place. And doing pretty well. The Croatian midfielder's strongest point lies in the ability to pull the ball. Hat-trick could be Brazil's exit point in the middle of the field, similar Rodri'S, while the creative task can be the public midfielder, like the brawler. Sheba Hepertu recedes deeper to support. However Kovacic, it's not comparable to Rodri'S, everything about defense. The lack of a well-managed midfielder due to can actively intercept remotely. And excellent counterattack like Rodri'S, promise, will make Man City's defense more challenging. Remember the season before Rodri'S got suspended? Man City have lost in the Premier League before Newcastle and after and it's a coincidence. For two opponents in Man City's next 3 rounds. Newcastle and the Queen and the Hamster. This time will be very different. When the scores on the charts. No words for Man City. If Arsenal don't lose people and kept score at halftime throughout the game, Man City have fallen to second place. It's the same 12 points as Liverpool or Aston Villa. Harder still, neither Brune nor Gudon are young. And they're constantly traumatized. Should be sure, Man City will be difficult to play. With the most stable coconut gland. Alan Haaland is blocked by the enemy. When the pump system gives you a problem, I promise there will be a few more disappointments. Like the way you kicked your chair at the Etihad last time. He also said no to buying more space. When the winter Sunday market opens, the reason is clear. 115 compulsive financial violations. This is even more detrimental to this team if they make any further moves. At the nearest market. It's not natural Man City. I only buy about every Savino. He is also a player. It's part of the City supergroup. Work go on back under the free status also does not speak at Guardiola. There are enough people to serve the ambition in his season. Soon enough, Mr. U Gold Award Ceremony 2017 will take place. Rory was chosen as the owner of this title. You can make the room quiet. With Man City's midfielder highly likely, you will have to fight for the prize. And when Re makes history for himself, the last season of Pep Guardiola at Man City, it also raises the risk of a dead end. Man City's performance, it's like a magic test now. By competing without the main set of motors, Roger will make an effort to get back, but it's not too risky. Before the disaster will hit the anti-hat. With difficult and challenging schools, and Man City needs to find the answer. They really live well. In the absence of Rodri'S' breath.